Speculation time, speculation time. This will probably be the last one before anniversary drops, since it'll probably drop on Monday or Tuesday, who knows. But this is something that have been tweeted at me constantly ever since the news came out of the names of the Blazing Festivals, Hollow and Reflection. People been wanting to be Kakashi and Obito, yada yada yada. Everyone heard this 50 times, but I just want to actually kind of like predict how the jutsus and the abilities will be, which is my take on that. So this specific Obito and Kakashi have been tweeted at me many times. I just took the latest one from Sapphire, shout you, and probably low-key the Obito and Kakashi we're getting, the crossed Kakashi and the half Zetsu Obito. The crossed Kakashi we already have in this Kakashi right here. And also this Kakashi right here, where they have the... Wait, does this Kakashi... No, this doesn't. He doesn't have the cross in the middle of his chest. This one has. We can see right here. He has the cross in the middle of his chest. And I don't recall if in the actual miniature he does have it as well. But you already have that. But we don't have a half Zetsu Obito, which is interesting because we have so many Obitos. Which just means that maybe they've been waiting for the anniversary to drop one like this. But as I said, probably Obito and Finn. So we can take a look at the other anniversary units and how they acted and kind of predict how the new ones will. If I'm not mistaken, Sage 6 players Naruto, Rin, and Sasuke were the first Blazing Festivals to introduce 6 abilities. I can fact check that right now. Let me actually go in the events timeline. If I'm mistaken on that, I've been actually... I should have checked that before, but if I'm mistaken on that, I'll be... Oh, I don't think they were, because Heart Madara had 6 abilities, right? Wait, let me... Heart Madara had 6 abilities, right? Okay, so they weren't. But I think only Heart Madara had 6 abilities before them. Or Minato. Okay, so not that many ones had, but of course Heart Madara did have it. Okay, but I would actually... Because the reason why I was going to mention this is because there are possibilities for them to introduce a 7th ability in these new anniversary Blazing Festivals. It's not out of the ground. I wouldn't really set stone on that, but there is a possibility, which is why I'm mentioning it. But looking at Naruto and Sasuke, of course, we can't really predict what Kakashi and Obito will have. I'm just really trying to see if there's anything new that they introduce. First of all, one thing that both of them have in common is that both of them reduce chakra by one of their abilities, but I don't know, in the final value they didn't. But Kakashi is always a hard-hitting unit. You can see by the Blazing Festival Kakashis we have, this is a Bravery Nuker, and this Susanoo Kakashi that we have is a... Where is him? Is a Heart Nuker. Difference being that this one was AoE and the other one was single target. Since the Blazing Festival will probably be the version of the Bravery one, I would expect him to be a single target ultimate that nukes. And as you can see, this Kakashi has increased damage against elements. And the same thing, I would expect him to have like maybe a new ability that increases damage against every element. I also brought this up with shoutouts to Anton Lab. He's the one that actually provided this for us. There is a folder, if you don't know, if you go in the Blazing subreddit, there's a link to a folder. Let me actually put it like this. There is a link to a folder with all of the game assets in it. Like literally everything that is in the game is in there, and this is one of the files that has all of these assets. And you can see right here, this is all in the game. Everything here is in the game. A lot of stuff has not been used yet. Like just taking a glance at it, a lot of stuff you see, like this ability right here, where if you can find my mouse, I'm sorry, where I'm hovering my mouse on, these are not being used yet. A lot of these are not being in the game, so I would predict for them to actually introduce something, because as you can see in Final Valley Naruto, he introduced this ability of adding chakra when the mission begins. So it's not a far stretch to believe that they would introduce abilities that we don't already have. I don't particularly see one that would like this ability right here. Oh man, can I extra zoom in? I can. Let me extra zoom in on the ability that I'm talking about. This one right here in the middle, the one that has 3. You can see that he's the most different one. This or this. like this one looks like an ability that straight up is like attack increase and stuff like that. This could be like a new ability for Kakashi, because Kakashi, as I said, he's a hard-hitting unit most of the time, so an ability that would increase like damage against every type or something like that would be something to have. And again, damage against every type wouldn't be too far-fetched, because Kakashi literally has damage against every type, but this time would be just in one ability, so he would not waste 5 ability slots. And again, a lot of other, like, it's insane how many abilities and stuffs are not in the game yet, especially this one right here. This is the thing that gets me the most. This right here is a card that is in the game for ages, and I use this on thumbnails. You guys see that on thumbnails, I use this, and this right here as well. This has been in the game for ages. Probably. Okay, maybe not probably, but hopefully they'll finally use these and they will be 7 stars. Because again, this has been in the game files for ages, and I don't think this has been ever used. If it has been used, correct me, but I don't think it has ever been used. 7-star assets have been in the game files for I don't know how long. I don't think this king thing has ever been used as well. If you know what these are, let me actually zoom up as well. If you know what these are, this is stats increase for a specific mission, like when a normal banner unit has increased stats on Ninja Road, for example, a new normal banner unit, and this is an increased coin drop rate for Ninja Road as well, same thing. I don't believe the king one has been used. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never like actually noticed it being used, but I'll actually take a look at this, because again, a lot of abilities like these one right here, these are actually pretty interesting as well. Look at this. And there's the ability, and also ability that probably counters this ability. So there's already like the ability itself and another ability that will counter that ability, and it's not in the game yet. I don't know how long this has been here, but it's not in the game yet. It's been here sitting in the files. So the probability of, again, it just dropping in the game out of nowhere in these new units is so high. But and as I said, Naruto did introduce this ability, again if I'm not mistaken. I believe he introduced this ability, so if new units introducing new abilities would be not far-fetched. Obito, he will always be a unit that has dodge if it's like in this version, so I would imagine that this Obito would also dodge. If you can see, Sage 6 Paths Obitos don't. Sage 6 Paths Obitos don't have dodge because in the anime he basically only uses the Rinnegan, while when he's in this form, he uses Kamui. I mean, he does have the Rinnegan, but still he just uses Kamui. It's only when he's in the Sage 6 Paths that he just straight up only uses the Rinnegan. So in this he's probably going to be in this form, so that's why the new Obito probably will have like one ability with like 50% dodge, or something like that. Or maybe, I would say that he probably has the ability that Shikamaru has on his ultimate, that when he ults or normal jutsus, he ignores dodge right here. Nullifies damage you receive from normal attacks, combination attacks, follow-up attacks, plus, like, honestly, this would be like something that they could 100% do. They could do that with the ignore normal attack. I clicked to mute myself on the keyboard while typing. I'm so dumb. Why do I even have a key to mute myself? Okay. I hope I didn't cut something important, but I was gonna say, Peng, they could add also Peng's ability to ignore a jutsus when he jutsu, nullify damage you receive from jutsus. So Obito could 100% be a unit that when he ults, he hits the whole map, because that's how Obitos of this form usually act. Let me bring back to this Obito. This Obito right here attacks the whole map, as you can see. All enemies and knocks them back. All enemies means full map. All enemies means full map. Not all enemies in range means, of course, it has a range, right? AoE. All enemies straight up full map. So this is a full map. This is not full map. This is actually single target, which is odd. This is a full map as well from this Obito right here, which is again the same version. And this Obito right here, same version, is also a full map ultimate. So it would lead me to believe that Obito will have a full map ultimate, and he can have that thing where he can not take damage from normal attacks and jutsus for a while, like 5 turns or 6 turns. Being an anniversary unit, he has to be broken Just like Final Valley Naruto is broken till this day, and Final Valley Sasuke is broken to this day, and Sage 6 Paths Naruto and Rinnegan Sasuke were broken for the full year that they were the recent anniversary units, right? I would say up until Sage 6 Paths Madara came out was when they became like not the best units in the game anymore. And then Kaguya and Sage 6 Paths Madara became the best units. It didn't happen really like this year, just because here's the thing, Sage 6 Paths Madara, he came out and he was a god in PvE and PvP, and that made him the best unit in the game, right? He's incredible in both. And then the KCM Naruto and EMS Sasuke that we got, these ones right here, just so we're in the same check. This right here, these units that we got, they were really good in PvE. They are really good in PvE, really good. Not very good in PvP though. And then it's just mostly because PvP is different than it used to be when Sage 6 Paths Madara came out. It's more about, really, I don't know how to explain. It's more about units that make you go back, damage reduction, stuff like that. Dodge is not even that big of a thing anymore as it used to be because of how many units ignore dodge, like Final Valley Naruto. So yeah, it didn't happen this time. But to make a stretch that these units will be the best units in the game is not too far-fetched. And Kakashi usually, as I've seen, has a normal jutsu that isn't AoE. So, I mean, normally that's how you predict things, because like I usually predict that Minatos will always have single target, normal jutsu, and ultimate, because every Minato in the game except for one has everything single target. The one that doesn't have is the New Year's Minato. He has, I believe, is a normal jutsu. That is AoE, and it's a small box AoE. So it's like, yeah, every other Minato is single target. So that's how I base my assumptions. Every single Kakashi except for Kid Kakashi right here. Everything, like, Kid Kakashi has like a fire style jutsu that is all enemies in range, but every other one's a single target. Like this Bravery Kakashi, Heart Kakashi, this Kakashi right here, I believe is also single target. Yeah, it's single target, so I would say he will be a single target normal jutsu, so that might not make him as effective on PvP, because if you, let me be real, if you don't make people go back, you have to be AoE. To be viable on PvP, if you don't make people go back, or you're super fast, you have to be AoE. It's one of the other. Or you have extreme damage reduction, which Kakashi can have. Kakashi doesn't actually, like all these Kakashis, actually this one have, Bravery Kakashi actually has, let me put him up. Kakashi does have abilities that have damage reduction, right? Yeah, 25% damage reduction. But I was gonna say, damage reduction is a common trait amongst Kakashi, because this one has damage reduction, and the other one, although he doesn't have an ability that gives damage reduction, on his normal jutsu, he gives himself damage reduction as well. The ultimate, I'm sorry. The normal jutsu gives dodge, I'm sorry. The ultimate gives damage reduction, so Kakashi will be a damage reduction unit, and Obito will be a dodge unit, which is mostly like Naruto and Sasuke's are, although the Sasuke doesn't have dodge. The skill Sasuke has dodge, right? Damage reduction, and then, I mean, it's, I don't know how to say, because usually when it's Naruto and Sasuke, like this Naruto was like mostly focused on being a support unit, although he does hit pretty hard. I don't know why, but people said he was mostly a support unit, and this Sasuke was an offense unit. And then same thing happened with Naruto being a support unit, and this Sasuke being an offense unit. So, also, I would say that it would be a thing for Kakashi to be a support unit and Obito be an offense unit. Maybe Kakashi is gonna have healing. That's not like, healing is very important for PvE. So if they want to make these units like really desirable, they're gonna have to have healing, especially Kakashi. Obito could have healing as well. Like honestly, he could have healing as well. Why not? But yeah, all these abilities, they all could like, that we don't have, they all could just spawn in for the first time and we get them. One thing is that we actually don't have, as far as I have found, a star that is followed with a 7. We have right here 1 star, 2 star, 3 star right here, 4 star. Oh, I didn't show the 4 star. 4 star, I have not ever found a one that has a 7 star, so maybe they either are hiding it in the files or it will not happen. But if there's not, oh, I'm extremely zoomed in. If there is not a 7 star, I will not be surprised, because it's not in the files. But I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to make your assumptions as well in the comment section, be free to do that. And yeah, I'll see you next video, I guess.